All right, Coach, just instant thoughts from tonight's season opener.
A competitive game. One team was better than the other tonight. I think the one thing for us is you're going to spin it into a positive. We probably took more things from the game that we got to get better at or work on. Some of them will be addressed between now and tomorrow's game, hopefully. And then some of them are going to be over the course of the season. We're just going to have to get better in those particular areas if you want to win this type of game, because this was a regional type game, good crowd, obviously a great facility. And I already mentioned the opponent as well.
Mentioned areas to get better. What were some of those areas you thought tonight?
Outfield play for us is you got 3 new outfielders out there as far as starting goes, but they've all had action and had a few balls fall in front of us when you got to be King Kong to hit it out of this place today, unless you go right down the left field line. So maybe a little better communication so we get a better jump, maybe better communication from us so we're positioned a little bit better. Because it was one of those games where a little bit of any one thing was going to make a big difference. I mean, their third baseman technically could argue he made a game-saving play. So just a lot of little things like getting a bunt down or maybe other things that we'll get together as staff and talk about that, are inches, but you got to tally them all up again to win a game like this.
Chase Dolander, maybe not the start he would have wanted, but he definitely bounced back and had a pretty good outing. What'd you see from him tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he got into a rhythm and showed who he is. And Halvey fortunately came out and was in a rhythm immediately, which is pretty outstanding considering the amount of time he's had off. So the two of them were both great. I think the exciting thing is Doe knows he can throw a little bit better.
Yeah, and talking about, bats tonight, Cal Stark 2-2 at the plate. What'd you see from him?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty capable offensively. Ironically, we recruit the guy as a defender first behind the plate where everyone knows defense is so important. But he's put in a lot of work in the weight room with Q, and he's shown he's fully capable with the bat. I'm glad to just get him in the game, and the fact he did well, I think, probably adds to his confidence a little bit.
The outfield, you said multiple guys are going to see action this weekend. What do you see from these 3 tonight?
I think Jared is such a high-energy kid. He was maybe a little amped up, and then, C. Scott and Booker, too, are so fun to be around as kids because they got big personalities, and that'll shine through more as time goes on. But being first time out there, kind of opening day starters, you have those emotions running high that make the great personality that you have as a kid. So you just got to learn to direct them in the right way. And I think all 3 of them played well, but like Dolander, I think all 3 of the outfielders know they can play even better. And there's guys on the bench too who are capable of doing some things. And Ensley's one of them, who of course had that pinch hit at bat I was talking about with the third baseman.
Maui Huna couldn't play tonight. Do you have any comment on his status of that situation?
No, I mean, it was a late word for us as far as paperwork, so I can't speak to it intelligently. I just know I had to tell the kid, which he was very emotional about, but for the record, the first thing he said to me is, can I still be in the dugout? And it's taken us all a while to get to know him and some of the new faces, but such a lovable kid. And I mentioned to the team, I don't think Jasloff plays as well as he does unless he knows the guy next to him in pregame in and out has got his support. And pretty cool story came out of that. Jazzy's an in-state kid that loves the Vols, has basically not gotten to do anything other than practice the last 2 years, no reward, and has bided his time. And he certainly worked his butt off to make sure he belongs on a field like tonight, and I don't think anybody could argue he didn't.
What do you think about Halverson on the mound for the first time in 2 years?
Kind of mentioned earlier, just great to get him out there, and then for him to do as well as he did was phenomenal. But the fact he kind of settled in, if I'm not mistaken, faced their best hitter, or at least the most hyped up hitter. It's not my place to say who their best guy is, and got in a groove right away and got a lot of bad swings. I think if we play a little better defense, he maybe gets through the game and finishes it, but maybe gave him a couple more opportunities offensively to wear him down a little bit. And, he's only been built up to go 4 innings for us, and that's about what he did.
I know you already answered this, I'm sorry, but Dolander, a little high pitch count there at the beginning, but it really settled in.
Yeah, no, he got in a rhythm, and, truly came to who he was in form. And part of that is, the expectations are new to this group. Kudos to last year's Vol team and the year before and the year before, but none of them have had to fight some of the battles that these guys have. And some of them are evident to the media and the fans, and there's a few, behind the scenes. But there's new challenges for these guys. And anytime you got a challenge, you can either meet it head on or you can run from it. And I like our guys. They're starting to form their own personality, their own team image. And if anything, we've gotten a reputation for being a group that'll that'll fight with you a little bit or fight the circumstances, and they need to dig in and do that even more because of that.